All right, Republicans are one seat away from victory in the House, but emotions are still running high when it comes to the Senate. Here's how Senator Ted Cruz kicked off his podcast yesterday.
I am so off, I cannot even see straight. We had an extraordinary opportunity. We had a generational opportunity. And instead, holy crap, the Democrats keep the Senate. It would be insane if we reelect the same leadership 2 days from now. If we say, hey, nothing happened, everything's good, keep rowing off the waterfall, crash into the rocks, everything's awesome.
All right, let's bring in someone who never rows off the waterfall. Dave Rubin here in studio in Washington, D.C. Dave, welcome. Good to see you.
This is very bizarre seeing you guys in real life. This is weird. I mean, we've done this 1,000 times.
I know,
but
never in person.
I know, you can.
Wow.
Yeah, we real people.
I poked Lindsay. That was pretty good.
Post-COVID, you can touch. Look, I think that Ted Cruz said what a lot of people were saying and thinking after Election Day. Rick Scott, the senator from Florida, today finally stepped up to the plate and said, fine, I'll challenge McConnell. Here's the question. Everybody else in the Senate was saying, I want to call for a delay in the vote, But no one was, delay for what? No one was running against anybody. Today, Rick Scott said, I'll do it. Do all the people who said they wanted a delay, do they actually now, are they forced to say, I have to support Rick Scott, and do other people join in?
Well, this is politics, so whatever can happen will happen, and none of it will make sense. That's pretty much how it's going to go down. I was actually at the Capitol earlier today, and I saw Ted Cruz kind of running in a hallway, so he is fired up, and Elizabeth Warren was a couple of feet behind him. People are kind of freaking out over there. Look, I like seeing Ted Cruz fired up the way he is, and I like seeing the call for a new direction here. There is no excuse. Let's put aside whether money should have been spent this way or that way, or any of the technical parts of it. If you just take the blue sky version of it, there is no excuse for what just happened. This economy is in tatters. We're in this half war in Ukraine. The litany of things, the border, all the stuff that we go through, that you guys go through on the show every day, that every American knows about, on top of the fact that Biden is obviously somewhat mentally compromised and everything else. The messaging out of the administration has been terrible. And the incumbent party is supposed to get crushed in the midterm. So the fact that, yes, the Republicans will just squeak by in Congress and, not really get the Senate, this is bad. I think it's an argument that you get rid of everybody to some extent.
Ahead.
Yeah, you probably, I guess, right. Somebody has to be the sacrificial lamb here. So
who?
Are you asking me who? Are you asking me who? Well, I don't live in this town, so it depends who you want to have dinner with tonight.
We have to stay. Yeah.
Look, maybe you have to get rid of McConnell. I mean, but he's so entrenched in the thing. It's like he would take everybody out somehow before he ever went down. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I mean, you're a former Democrat. You look at this. This was such low-hanging fruit for Republicans. Everyone thought it was in the bag. There was no issue. You look at exit polling. It shows that most people didn't actually like this administration. They don't like it. 72% of them. Where do you think that Republicans really went wrong? Monday morning quarterbacking here.
It's really incredible because with all the things that I just mentioned, but the economy particularly, you'd think that people would just say, enough of this. Or if you just look back to COVID, who really locked us down? Who really forced us to fire people over injections or mandate this or that? And in most cases, it was Democrats. Republicans did it too to some degree, but they at least usually wisened up pretty quickly. I don't know what we have to do in terms of messaging from the right. I don't consider myself a traditional Republican, but obviously I supported Republicans this time around. I'm going to continue to do so. And the Democrat Party is very far from a Democrat Party that I might have supported, say, 5 years ago. But the fact that people were like, yeah, this is all terrible. I mean, look at a place like Michigan, where Whitmer was one of the absolute worst draconian authoritarian lockdown artists, goes on stage during a debate, lies about kids were only out of school for 3 months, and then they re-elect her.
I felt like everybody went out to dinner at a restaurant, had a horrible meal, and then said, hey, you want to know where we should go Friday night?
Let's go back.
Let's go back Friday night. That's where we should go. And you go, and everyone turns around and goes, wait, it was a horrible meal, it cost too much, and you go, yeah, so what's the point? And you're like, I don't get this, but I do want to
spit in the soup. Right. Let's go back.
Let's go back. Yeah. But let's go to at least a bright spot, Florida, where you moved to.
Yes.
Tonight, Donald Trump's going to be down there at Mar-a-Lago. Newsmax will have this all covered. But also, the other bright spot was Ron DeSantis. Yeah. What are people down there on the ground, not the people in Washington, not the pundits, when people down there are asked about their opinion of this feud between Trump and DeSantis, so far they haven't had to pick. It's been, hey, I would like my governor. I'm going to reelect my governor. I like Trump. He did a great job. They may have to choose. What's the general consensus?
Well, first, let me just say something positive about what's going on in Florida related to DeSantis. From everybody that I talk to, whether it's literally my gardener who I've become good friends with, or it's people that are in TV like us, like there is a feeling that in Florida, freedom is being protected and individual rights are being honored, and it's just the beginning. The fact that the elections were absolutely secure, nobody's doubting that, and the guy won by 20 points, and then he gets Rubio to also win in a landslide. Like, and now they have a supermajority in the House and the entire thing. So Florida is running incredibly well. In some respects, as a new Floridian, to me, I win either way, because whether Trump wins or DeSantis. First off, I don't know if DeSantis wants to get in. It's not as if he said it. And if he doesn't get in, well, then we keep him as a governor. And if he does, if he decides to run, then we'll kind of see let them do their thing. But my only thing really would be that I would want them to do it on the up and up as much as possible. There's no need to burn down either one of them. And I think that's going to be a little bit more of a challenge for Trump than it will be for DeSantis. I like Trump. I voted for Trump. I could certainly see myself voting for him again. This thing doesn't have to be mutually assured destruction if that's where it's going. And I think that that's what they have to figure out. But maybe we need some level of the fight to be seen publicly, and then may the winner take the spoils.
All right, almost out of time here, but if Trump does burn down DeSantis, even if, let's say, he doesn't run, how does that bode for Florida? Are Floridians upset because Trump is attacking their governor who they love so much?
I think there's a little bit of a feeling of, the posts on Truth Social and Ron DeSanctimonious. It just it feels sort of petty. It's like, you may want to say, hey, I'm running and I think you're going to run. Let's figure out how to fight each other. But the petty stuff, I also think most of the country's sort of moved on from the petty stuff. And again, I say this as someone that I understand why Trump uses the tactics that he's used. So that's not really an attack on him. That's just, I think people are feeling, hey, here's a guy who did everything that we can ask for as, let's say, right-leaning people. He accomplished all the stuff, did it well. He's 44 years old. He has a great family, a bright future. Maybe let's not destroy him in the quest for power. So, but look, this is Game of Thrones, and this is how it gets played out. And in Game of Thrones, there are red weddings, and we just sort of had a red funeral for the Republicans. But there's all sorts of stuff, and hopefully they can figure out something that'll make sense. But again, as a Floridian, to me, either way I win. Either DeSantis doesn't get involved, we've got him, or if Trump beats him in a primary, we've still got DeSantis, or if DeSantis beats Trump, then we have President DeSantis. So there's wins.
If you're a Floridian.
It's good to be a Floridian. And you guys living in D.C.
Yeah, I'm in Virginia. I'm happy. I got Governor Youngkin. We're doing well.
You got young kin, as Trump calls him. Yeah.
All right, Dave Rubin, thanks for joining us in studio. Always a pleasure to see you, even better in person.